Good morning, everyone. We are trying a new camera today called the Owl, and you can't see it, but hopefully you can see me and Gracie, and it looks like Ashley is in the frame too. And then across the top, you'll have like a wide angle of everyone. So if anybody talks, it'll actually, the camera will go to that person that's talking, and we'll see how this works. If this is good for our meeting, or if we still like the other camera where it's just the overhead view of everything. Okay. Core value today. We reject the status quo and encourage innovation. We hate complacency and are always looking for ways to do what we do better. Our team members are encouraged to think outside the box and innovate. As a company, we pivot fast and often, always looking for ways to improve and find the better way. So you guys are going to see a lot of that stuff. I mean, we are pivoting as things happen to us. There's more coming this summer. I'm going to hit that in a few minutes as far as what's coming with the NAR settlement. We're going to have to pivot again at that point and do some things that NAR and TAR want us to do. So we don't know what all those things are yet. I know they're working on it, but we will go over just a couple of things here in a few minutes. We're also today going to hit the lease payment request form. We're also going to hit the leasing procedures form and show you where those are. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Sorry to make an entrance. Sorry.
That's awesome. All right. So we're going to hit those today because there's some things that we're changing on that, and we're innovating this as we go, or I guess pivoting on it, if you will, because we don't have nothing is ever perfect. We're always looking for a better way to do things. Hello, Mr. Andrew. So we're going to be working on some of that stuff. First off, I would like for Holly, can you come on camera and tell us about Party on the Patio meeting and things that are going on with you?
How about I don't come on camera because I'm in the middle of doing a bunch of things, but I will tell you about Party on the Patio. So we have finalized a bunch of the plans. We are asking any agent that wants to participate for Party on the Patio to stay next Wednesday after our agent meeting and have a quick little meeting about just kind of the outline of the night, expectations of the night. So if you're wanting to participate, if you will just comment on the Slack message that Tasha put out yesterday, so we can add you to a calendar invite, that would be great.
Okay. So I will, that's already there, correct, Holly?
It is, yes.
Okay. So I will, of course, after the meeting later today or tonight, I will put all my notes up from today's meeting into Slack. Today was supposed to be Rechat, and they had to cancel because their trainer got sick or something in Philadelphia or wherever he's from, Pittsburgh. So we're going to do that next Wednesday at 10:15. So we'll do 15 minutes of me talking a lot of crap that you need to know. And then nobody smiled at me. Come on. I'm up here trying to put on a comedy show.
I just had coffee in my mouth.
I'm sorry? For who?
Patty.
Patty?
Yes. Is that Angela? Agent, I was telling you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Come on in. Sorry.
There's a seat right over there.
Yeah, I read all the red lights.
So Rechat will be with us next Wednesday from 10:15 to 11:15. And then the Party on the Patio meeting will be at 11:15. Right after that, next Wednesday is graduation for the 100 Days to Greatness people. So Mariah, hopefully you'll be able to join us, and Joanna and Aaron, and then Becca and John from Bell County. We still need prayers for Philip Vino, our pit bull and outdoor guy. He's still in the hospital. We had some setbacks over the weekend. He's getting better from those setbacks. Jimmy has talked to him several times, and I talked to him on Monday, but he still needs our prayers. He's lost 45 pounds on this deal. His heart is only functioning at about 10% capacity. So he's in a lot of stuff going on, but his spirits seem to be okay. And he said that he's baby steps forward. So prayers for Philip Vino. Hopefully everybody got their headshots out of the photo shoot Dropbox. There's also group photos on there. If you have one of our websites, those are really easy to take your pictures and just throw them up on your website into your Squarespace. If you have another brand of website, please feel free to grab those pictures, download them to your machine so that you have copies of them. Okay. Don't forget the ABR designation is still free from NAR. That's like $295. That's what I paid for it when I got my ABR. So that's accredited buyer representation representative. So please, if you need some schooling, it's an easy 12 hours. Not easy, but it's a good 12 hours. The new 6th Ave Facebook page, if you haven't, Jamie has requested that I ask you again, if you haven't invited all of your friends to like the page, please do so. You can only do 1,000 a day, but if you've got, if you're real rich and popular like Jamie and you have 6,000 people, it takes a week to invite everybody. But of course, me, I did it in like 20 minutes. So I'm just kidding. I've got almost 400 friends. Okay. And Maria's 2 of them. So that's all. Please go to the 6th Ave page. Did you guys see the new logo? The dual color logo. It's got the coral 6th Ave and then the homes is in blue. That is actually under quick links in Slack. The brand, what's it called? You know what I'm talking about? The brand logos and stuff. It's in there, but that logo is there. You're welcome to use that. I've started using it on a lot of stuff. I'll probably be putting it on when we do new badges and stuff like that. So we'll have those out there. Okay, new folders. Out here in the out room.
Yeah.
Well, everything was on a list and then it was just like,
Oh, yeah.
So the new folders are here. I've put a box of them out here. You can grab up to 10 at this point. We'd like to be, frugal with them, but we want to use them at the same time. We bought 1,000 of them. So please grab a folder should you want some this is what I use for my presentations. So it's really cool. Is Remington talking already? Okay. Okay. So May the 29th, 2 weeks away from today, we will not have a mastermind meeting. It's the 5th Wednesday, and on the 5th Wednesday of a month, I don't do a mastermind. What?
That's outside my pay grade. We're not doing it on the 5th.
Well,
That's not anything you would ever say, but in my brain,
Uh-huh.
I swear it.
okay.
And I'm
Well,
also glad because
but here's what I am going to do is instead of doing a mastermind, I'm going to do an agent orientation onboarding. So if you're newish or if you've been here a year and you're still having some issues with some of the technology, I'm going to be here and I can sit down, we can work these things through, and I'll be here for that full 10 o'clock to 11:15, 11:30 time frame on the 29th. I'm sorry?
What day did you say?
2 weeks, 29th.
Okay.
Okay. And it's on your calendar, and I invited all the newish agents, but anybody is welcome to come. Anybody that has any issues that you would like to talk through and see if I have any solution for, which I probably don't, but I'll be glad to at least offer my opinion. Summer training series will start on June the 5th. It's every Wednesday this summer. It's not, we are going to have sponsors every week. So they're bringing stuff for us. I need a count every week. So if you're going to be here, please go to the calendar and say, yes, I'll be there. Because that's the number that I'm going to be giving them to say, hey, can you bring us, 25 burritos? And if y'all don't show up, I'm not eating 25 burritos.
sure, I'll eat 10.
Well, just saying, that's the way it's going to be. Okay. So you guys, most of you that have been here a while have seen my fish finder on Showing Time, which is the insight tool, the showing insight tool. Broker Bay now has one. Okay, so I'm gonna actually jump over to this real quick and show it to you. Let me show here and then share this tab. Come on. Okay, it's coming up. All right, so inside Broker Bay, on the left-hand side, it's got Market Insights or something like that, and it's of course Broker Bay is going to fight me this morning.
Both desktop and mobile versions.
Say again.
What you're showing is mobile.
I'm going to show the desktop version. I don't think that
Mobile, it's so finicky.
It is.
it is. Sometimes it won't even open on my phone.
Right.
Where did you go?
Okay, so this is along the left-hand side under Analytics, Showing Insights. And then this works exactly, well, it's not exactly the same as Showing Time. Showing Time has been there for a long time, so they've got a really good handle on how to do it. This one works similarly. So you could put in like a zip code and you could say 76104. And there is, it's done there, and you say apply. Maybe I'll do this first. So all no, and the 76104, and then click it and apply. And then you can go down and it'll give you, there's your showing stats
For that zip code.
for that zip code. Now, the thing is, it'll give it to you in increments, but it's not limited like showing times Fish Finder is. This one, if you look, it's giving me everything that's in that price range. So that's from $200 up to $470,000 in 76104. It's showing me everything. In showing time, you are limited by how much you can bracket in on the plus and on the high end, low end, and then they say, well, okay, so you want $400,000 worth of showing stats, but we can only show that to you in $20,000 increments, as opposed to this one is showing it to me in 10.
It's range.
Yep. And then you can do this down to, check this out. Yes, May the 29th.
So when you do, so you did that by zip code?
I did it. I did this one by zip code.
Okay, can you, because I'm looking at one for city and it looks a little wonky and just want to see how you, like if you go up to the city and you choose Trophy Club.
Mhm.
It says when you select Trophy Club, like when you check the box, it unselects Trophy Club because all are selected, so it unselects it and
Correct.
it says apply.
So cancel.
Cancel.
Okay. So, and under this, go up to the city, click that one, click again, hit all, hit again. Hello.
So unselect. all.
Yeah. You have to, what she just did
Yeah.
was what she was doing is she went here. And so I went to city and select all. And when you unselect all, it unselects it. Then you can go in and decide what city you want to look at.
Yeah, or you can type it in that bar. So
You can.
I typed it in the bar and it kept it all selected. So you have to unselect all of them.
Yeah.
It defaults to pre-selection.
Yep. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Can I throw just a broker bait question out there in general? I was trying to, is that a yes?
I probably don't have the answer, but you're welcome to ask the question.
I was trying to make it to where they'd have to give the seller like at least a 2-hour notice, and I can't find that anywhere on broker bait. Is that not a possibility?
Yeah, it's okay.
It is.
Okay,
There
There is a setting up in that.
Go ahead. You go to your listings, select a listing. It's under, wait a minute, dashboard,
Yeah.
then listings. And so I'm just going to select Ranch Hand Trail, and then you go to edit listing and you're going to override. And then it's right, showing configuration right here. And there it is.
That's the
No,
duration. That's the duration. But
That's
you
not
go,
the-
you can,
Up top.
Of the top,
Yeah, right there. Minimum
No.
hours.
minimum showing notice right there.
That's right. Showing
Okay.
notice.
Everything is right here for the showing stuff.
Okay, I thought that was the minimum of the amount of time that they could be in there.
No, that's the
That's
minimum
the
showing notice and then maximum showing duration.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So back to showing insights. Any questions about that? I think it's going to be a good tool because so many brokerages have moved over to Broker Bay. Personally, if I'm doing a listing, I'm going to Showing Time, pulling their numbers, and I'm going to Broker Bay and pulling their numbers and running both of those and printing them out to show the people this is where the showings are occurring in your zip code in this neighborhood, whatever the case may be. This is where the fish are. This is where we need to be dropping our lure in. Does everybody know what I mean by that?
No.
No?
No.
No? Okay. So if we're in a particular zip code, where do you live?
Oh, 07. 76107.
Okay, 76107. So let's just say that you're in 76107 and you're going to a listing appointment with a seller and you want to show them where the buyers have been looking in your subdivision. You're looking at this house and you're saying this house could be 400, it could be 490. I can see an appraiser doing this. So let's go look at all the showing stats between 375 and 525 and let's see where the buyers are looking in 76107. The sweet spot is at 445 to 455. So if we price at 490, all the buyers won't see us. I'm going to price your house at 449. So we're right where all the fish are. I'm dropping my lure right in front of all the fish.
You look at the heat map and.
Yep.
So that's the same, you're saying that's the same thing, broker rate that you do it.
And showing time, it's
Okay.
similar. It's
'Cause I
not,
can't do showing time.
it's not the same thing. You can do showing time.
Well,
You have to pay $15 a month to get that
okay,
privilege.
that's it.
And it's $15 for the enhanced showing time, which I pay for.
Can you then list on showing up? Can you
No.
then use it?
No, that's the enhanced showing time. Okay. Enough of that. Let me move on. Let me see what the next thing I've got is.
Hey, Brian.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, so I don't know if everybody saw my Slack, but this happened to me this past week, and I just wanted, and I didn't know it personally because nobody had ever told me, but in MLS, if you check under showing service, Broker Bay, that they could schedule through Broker Bay and showing time, that there's a glitch with Broker Bay. Every time the server updates, it literally kicks you off, like it disables your listing.
Yeah, you shouldn't be listing on both services.
Well, I didn't know that. So I learned it. I just thought it, if anybody else, it's
Thank you.
information to
Good
know.
information to know. Thank you, Jen.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's talk about this real quick. Share this tab. So this is something, the link will be in Slack later. New practice changes are underway. And so let me show you kind of what's going on. We're not going to watch a video or anything on this. I'm going to put this link in there so you can go look. They're saying that the changes that we're going to see are going to occur mid-August. August 17th is what they're telling us. So that may mean a new addendum that we have to do. You guys need to be speaking to your clients about buyer representation. And just like we've done with sellers forever, it's going to be the law that everybody has to have a buyer's representative. Now, last week we learned that the reason a lot of this is coming into being is less than 30% of the buyers that buy a house are represented properly with representation agreements. So less than 30% in the country. That's why this is occurring. We've got a lot of people it's Wild West, like we talked about earlier. It's a lot of Wild West across the country, and we don't have that in Texas normally, but we're going to feel the effects of it. So I'll put this in here. I want you guys to go look at it. A lot of it is legalese, and it's people having to say that they're in the settlement and they're not in the settlement, but there are going to be some changes. We just don't know exactly what those are going to be yet. No freakouts. I know everybody was freaking out 2 months ago about things are going to change. Hopefully everybody's calmed down and they understand that there's going to be changes, but it's not that big a deal at this point. We don't know all the intricacies. All right. Next thing, we're going to look at the housing reports. We're going to look, actually, the first one we're going to look at is in MetroTex. And well, let me show this one. Oh, I guess I quit. It is weird, isn't it? The owl, it's different. All right, present, and here we go. All right, so if you guys don't ever go to MetroTex, as Greater Fort Worth members, you don't have to be a member to go to MetroTex's stuff. Greater Fort Worth has some of the same capabilities. MetroTex is a much bigger MLS association, so they have a lot more data that they're compiling and putting through. For instance, on the Greater Fort Worth, you can see Parker and Wise and Tarrant, but then you don't see any other counties. If you go over here to MetroTex's report, you can actually come down and you can look at the Metroplex as a whole. Dallas County, all these counties are available to you. So if you were listing something in Rockwall, because we do have agents that work Rockwall County, you can go there and actually pull the data from Rockwall County and see what's going on.
Where did you get that? Where did you get that?
My MetroTex.
My metro.
The link will be in the thing.
I know, I have to write it, Brian.
Okay.
I have to remember my metro text.
Okay. Wise County, that's the, so that look at Wise County where they're at. So their median price is up 14% year over year.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And their listings, but the listings are up 18%, closed sales up 24%. Wise County is almost a balanced market. 6.5 is considered to be exactly midpoint of the absorption rate. Does everybody know what that means?
No.
Okay. So when we start looking at months of inventory, that is a measurement of the absorption rate. If no more buyers came into the market, how long would it take for the current buyers that are in the market to buy all the homes that are listed. 5.4 months. That's the absorption rate. 6.5 is considered a perfectly balanced market. So right now, 5.4 is still a seller's market because it's below 6.5. But
Numbers change?
I'm sorry?
Did those numbers change, like that scale?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, it's always been 5.5 to 6.5. NAR is telling us 6.5 would be considered perfectly balanced right now.
Okay. I thought it was lower.
Yeah, it used to be 5.5. It used to be 5.5 months and now.
I thought 6 was considered a
Yeah.
buyer's market.
So
I got it.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those, it's a very gray area. When we start looking at like Tarrant County and 2.7, that's a seller's market.
So
You
can
know?
you say that one more time? The absorption rate is.
The
how
absorption
long
rate-
If there were no more buyers.
Okay, no more buyers come into the market.
Okay.
How long will it take for the current buyers to buy all of the inventory that's on the market today?
So it's going off of 12 months. And then they're saying 5.4 months or here, 2.7 months.
No, well, not up to 12 months.
No.
Not up to 12 months. How long would it take for the buyers that are currently thinking about buying a house? How long will it take for them to buy all the houses that are listed in Tarrant County?
Okay.
So if no more buyers came to Tarrant County, if everybody from California stopped coming here. That's a joke, y'all. Come on. It's a joke. Everybody talks about that. I'm not, nothing against California.
Hey,
But
hey,
how long would it-
Brian,
Yes, ma'am.
can I just add, I have heard it presented a little bit different. So the way that I have heard that presented is kind of like inventory on the shelves. So if no other new houses become listed and the same buyers that are out there are looking, then they would run out in 5.5 months, essentially. There would be nothing left in 5 months.
That's
It's kind of the same. Yeah. I mean, that's a different way of thinking about the term of being on the shelf, but it's measuring the same thing.
Right.
I think we're saying the exact same thing. It's just a little bit different way to say the same words.
Yes. I just didn't know if maybe that would help with just a different thought process on how that works. So
And so but the other part of that is if you have to look at the slide just to the left of that and days on market, 75, which is only 2 days less than it was in April of 2023. So people are buying things at the same rate. The buyers are still there. They're just the inventory. It was 1.8 months in April of 2023. Now it's at 2.7. So it's gone up 30 days.
And this is a huge thing because I've had to have this conversation with my sellers. Like the fact that we are still in a seller's market doesn't mean that it's the same seller's market we were in 2 years ago,
No.
where people are looking at houses and making decisions the same day.
Correct?
People are taking longer
Yeah.
to make decisions. And that's something I've had to really remind my sellers of, that let's just hold tight because we're seeing longer days on market. We're seeing people want to see a house more than one time. We're seeing buyers being a little bit more conscious maybe, but they're still buying.
Absolutely.
And it's just that's been the struggle I've seen lately is they want it. Sellers are like, okay, well, it's not moving. What are we doing wrong? Even though we've set the precedent up front of 45 days or longer, just reminding your sellers and ourselves that it is taking closer, like 2.5 to 3 months to close these homes.
Absolutely.
So that's really valuable.
I think that is a great point. So just as an alternative, we were talking about Metrotex. This is Greater Fort Worth, and this is what their housing report looks like. So it's going to give you Fort Worth, Tarrant County, Johnson County, Parker County. That's where they stop. That's why I like to go to Metrotex to get that other data, if that makes sense to everybody.
Is that a separate subscription?
I'm sorry?
Metrotex, is that a separate subscription?
No, they have a housing reports on. Just go to Metrotex, mymetrotex.org, I think it is called. They're Greater Fort Worth does. If you go to gfwar.org, .org, and right here under this, right there,
Anyone can look at it, it's not good.
Yeah. it's right underneath housing report. And the housing reports there, and you can actually go to the 6 a.m. real estate school, and they have all that stuff. And there's tons of stuff
There was a
there.
link on there?
Huh?
There was a link on there?
Well,
I saw that.
under
What
the,
do they do? What was like on that page you're on? What do they talk about on that? Like the whole state?
yeah,
Oh,
the
cool,
whole
cool.
state. So you can pull data from all over. The Texas real estate, the Texas A&M real estate. What it's called? Anyway, huh?
It's a department.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whole division at Texas A&M that just studies our Texas market.
And they're here locally.
It's in College Station
I mean.
at Texas A&M. Yeah. So, okay, very good. All right. So now that we have all of that stuff talked about, we are going to jump over. Let me close a couple of tabs here so that I don't get confused. I'm actually going to share this tab. This is Slack. Okay, so in the guides channel, everybody knows, I hope everybody knows by this time where the quick links are. So underneath the guides channel, right here across the top, there's three things. One says quick links, one says buyer presentation book, one says listing presentation book. Those are the things that we developed with storytelling. That is your buyer's presentation, listing presentation, and it has the editable PDFs in there where it'll take you into Canva. You copy into your own Canva, edit the way you want to, and then you can pull it back in as a PDF into your own files. Hope that you're doing this. We spent a lot of time getting that stuff up there for you. It's got some really great information. But under quick links, you will see when you put quick links, you'll get this drop down. Underneath here is the leasing procedures and the lease payment request. Okay. We've had some issues with Rachel, people not understanding how this is working. And so I've been asked to go through this just real quick so that you guys understand this. The only reason that you will ever have to deal with Rachel in operations and bookkeeping is if she owes you money or if you owe her money. She has nothing to do with operations outside of that. So anything else, you would come to Jimmy or I. Jimmy's actually in Bell County this morning. Jimmy drove down this morning. So Rachel handles, like if you do a lease and then you are owed a check, she's going to write your check. And if I text you and say, hey, you've got a check here, it's going to be in Rachel's office. Showed Joanna this morning where that was. There's a black filing cabinet about this tall. On top are two trays, and your check will be laying in that top tray if you're owed a check. So we're going to go through real quick and hit some leasing procedures, and I have to share this tab. Okay, so when you click that link, this is the page. I wrote all of this. So if it's wrong, you can call me and tell me, Brian, you're an idiot. I'm fine with that. Totally fine. So this should line out pretty easily what happens when you have a lease. If you are representing a tenant, buyer or tenant, okay, so it's a buyer's tenant representation agreement that you're going to fill out. Here are the things that you need to do. So upon execution of a residential lease, not a temporary buyer or seller lease, this is a residential lease. You will have to go here to this payment request form right there and click that. It's a Google form. Now, team members, that is where it gets a little confusing. So I rewrote that. I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about it last night because we were talked about it and in our leadership meeting. And so I got up at 3 o'clock this morning and rewrote the part for you guys.
Okay.
It's at the bottom of the page. I know I'm weird, but when you guys need something, I can't sleep until I get it done for you. That's just the way I am.
Very kind.
Sorry.
We didn't even have anything working.
Well, I understand, but we need these procedures in place. And this is part of our core value that I talked about when we started is the pivot, being able to do this stuff quickly. We're a smaller boutique kind of brokerage. And so we can get these things in place quickly so that everybody knows what we're supposed to do. That's the whole point is we want everybody to fully understand it so that nobody is walking around going, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. That should never be the thing. Okay. So if you guys go drop down right here, we have the tenant representation. Here are the documents that you will need. We are asking ReChat if we can have a lease tab inside of ReChat. Don't think they'll do it, but it's worth a shot. But this stuff here, you will have to have in your storage system, whether that's Google Drive, Dropbox, whatever you use. These are the things that I would want as broker, I would want you to have these documents to protect yourself and your clients. The information about brokerage services, obviously. Buyer-tenant representation agreement, agreement between brokers for residential leases, the landlord's floodplain and flood notice. Remember, every lease, even temporary ones, must have that floodplain release now. It's an addendum that's required. The residential lease, okay, here's something that happens all the time. Somebody will call me and go, Brian, I did a lease and the listing agent will not give me a copy. I understand that. It's fine. When you get it from your buyer, your tenant, can you get a copy? You need a copy in your files. I don't really need a copy unless there's a problem. If there's a problem, then I got to see it. But wouldn't it be great if you already had it in your files? Okay. And then an animal agreement, if applicable. So you know how this, if everybody's done a lease, if you haven't done a lease, we can talk about that later. Okay. If you're going to be listing, here are the things that you will need as a listing agent. Here's the steps, and you'll see there's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here is this one. Now, I added the word intermediary because somebody asked me, what do you mean landlord and tenant? That means intermediary. If you're the listing agent and somebody comes to you and you're also their representative and you're just acting as an intermediary, or I actually am, and you have been assigned or appointed to both sides, this is the things that you will do. Make sense? Okay. Down at the bottom, we have Megan and Kristen, who do a lot of apartment leases. Here's their apartment lease stuff. So if you do an apartment lease, if somebody, it's a great way to make money. I'm not kidding. It's a quick, easy way to make money. This is what you will do. Down at the bottom, I have added under compensation. This is the way that we have structured it. Money. Pterodactyl. The transaction fees are listed right here. This is how much we charge for each type of these leases and the dollar figures that are there. Underneath that, the team splits. This is the way this would work. So if you're on a team and you have this is just a team split as 80-20. If you get $600, this is how it would break down. I've tried to be as clear as I possibly can. If there's a problem with this stuff, it's changeable. This is a Google Doc. I can change it. Okay. So if you read through this and you don't understand it, text me, Slack me. Okay. I'd be glad to talk about it. We can pivot. We can make things work for whoever needs it. This is the standard way that we're going to do it here for now. Okay. Now I'm going to switch over and we're going to hit the next part of this, which is up here at the top, which is this one here. And I'm going to go here. I have to share this with you. This is what the Google form looks like. It's pretty simple, I think. I think it's simple for me, but it may not be for you, and that's completely fine. If it's confusing, you just need to say, Brian, I don't understand that part. So we're going to run through it real quick. All right, so your name. A Google form, when you fill it out, it goes to a spreadsheet that's internal to us, okay? So all of this information goes into a cell on a spreadsheet, and it just reads right across. That spreadsheet is then, an email is sent to Rachel and to me that is there. So she knows that there's something coming, and I know that you did something. Make sense? Okay, so we need your name. Please put your full name. It doesn't have to be middle name, but I need like Joanna Batzel. If you put Maria, there could be 2 of you, or maybe 3. Never know. Okay. Who did you represent? I represented the tenant or the landlord. What's the property address? What's the city? You'll notice the little red star means that is required. Okay. You can't fill this form out until you finish that. The commission amount, please enter the full dollar amount. Any additional documents. This is where your lease verification, if it's an apartment, you don't know what that is, and you've never done an apartment, a lease verification is an apartment form. Okay. That's something that Kristen and Megan get all the time, is that lease verification. I'm asking for it. That gets added into our Google Sheet as well. The agreement between brokers, that's for residential leases. That tells us how much you're getting paid. Okay. The next one, company to send the invoice to. So let's just say that Maria did a lease and she went through Coldwell Banker, and Coldwell Banker had it listed. So she puts all this information in here. We have to send an invoice to Coldwell Banker that says we get paid this much money. Where do we send it? I need that email address so we know where to send it to. That should be in the documents that you get from the listing agent when you're filling all this information out. When should we expect payment? How many times have you been seen on Slack? Hey, I've got a check for $900 up here at the office. Who did a lead? That's because this form wasn't filled out. Okay. When should we expect payment? Around. You don't tell me 10 o'clock on the 4th. But I need, it's going to be, May 9th, May 12th, whatever the case may be. If the cooperating agent was involved, the name, email, and phone number. So if you're representing the tenants, I want to know the listing agent's name, email, and phone number, please. If you're the listing agent, and if I'm the listing agent and Angela is representing the tenant, I need her information. Pretty simple. If we need to pay a cooperating agent, we must have their W-9. Everybody should have seen a W-9 before. Everybody's got one. It's usually the brokerage that has the W-9 because that's who we're paying. Like you guys, when you get a check from a title company, they're not actually paying you. They're actually paying us. And then we're paying you. It just all happens in one transaction. Okay. Okay. So the amount of commission we pay the cooperating agent. Any additional comments or that 6 Ave needs to know? This is new. This is the new part that I added in. Are you on a 6 Ave Homes team? So if you are not on Patty or Clarissa's team, you say no. Unless you develop a team and Andrew, you've got 40 agents under you and you're killing it, I'm happy for you, then you would be on a team. But as an individual agent, you would say no. That'll be the end of the form. You can go on about your business and this will be submitted. If you are on a team name, please tell me who it is. And then what is your team split with your team leader? All the team members should know that number. And then you have, are there any additional comments or conditions we need to be aware of? Then you click submit.
And if we have questions on this, you're the contact for this.
I designed this form.
And the other thing too, the other lease thing you just showed, I've just never done it before and I have to do it. So are you the contact if I have any questions? Okay.
Yep, please text me. The best way to catch me is text me. If you call me, I probably won't answer. You will get a better response from me if you text me first. You can call me.
Don't call him, he doesn't answer. They'll call you back.
But I will call you back, I promise. And if you text me and tell me what your issue is, that tells me how much fire I need to have in me getting back to you. Like, Brian, call me as soon as you can. I've got a problem. That's something I'm going to, as soon as I finish what I'm working on right then, I promise I'll call you. But if it's like, hey, what are we having Chick-fil-A next Tuesday? You're probably not going to get me back for a little while, but I will respond to you. I promise. Joanna, did I not respond to you while I'm driving down 35 this morning? Because she needed to know if we were having breakfast. She needed to know. That was a need to know thing. And my phone dings every time.
It was, for everybody. I have a question on, and I don't know if this needs to be a private conversation. I don't think it does. But on where it said, if you have a commission above 500 and now we're being charged, is that newer? Because I don't think we used to get charged no matter what the commission was on a lease.
Yes.
Right?
So this went into effect last fall.
Okay.
So because, and I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you, it costs us money for compliance.
Yeah.
Every transaction. Okay, so you guys know Victoria does not work for 6 Ave. She is a 1099 employee. She is a transaction coordinator. That's what she does, but she doesn't just do it for us.
Yeah.
She does it for a lot of people. So she has to go through and look at your documents to make sure that they're compliant.
Okay.
That costs us money to do that. Now, a lease, even, you guys all know this. A lease is 14 pages. A standard contract is 11. Go figure. Somebody's buying $1 million house on 11 pages and you can lease one on 14. But because there is a lot of Texas law in all of those documents. So let me jump back over to that form, the leasing procedures. So yes, under the compensation, if it's under $300, we're not charging anything. Victoria's going to look at it for free.
I just did know that she had to look at all of that stuff.
She has to make sure that we're compliant because if we don't have somebody looking at it, then we don't have anybody looking at it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have time to go through because I'm still operating my business as a realtor.
I don't think anybody was looking at it a few years ago. So that's why we didn't. I mean, we were responsible for that. So.
Exactly. And I want you to be responsible for that again. But that's one of those things that I would rather you spend the time. How much easier would it be if all of you guys, before you submitted your CDA and ReChat, if you went through every one of your documents and made sure that every blank was filled out, every initial was there, and every signature was there?
No, I hired her for every transaction because I always wanted more eyes on everything.
Absolutely. So, but yes, and so if you go from $500 to $1,000, we will charge $50 for clients, processing compliance, $25 to transaction coordinator, and Sixth Avenue will make $25. That's the numbers that we came up with that we thought were pretty fair. Because some people, you know, if you go to one of these apartment leases, you may get $2,500 to do one of these apartment leases, and we're charging you $150 for that.
Well, if you do a house lease, you're only getting paid $150.
Nobody's paying
Yeah.
anymore. I'm like, where did all the money
Yeah,
go?
where
And
did
you
they
give 100% for a lease, and no
I
one's
think
doing
it's
that.
fair because I know some brokerages make you do a regular split, so.
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
it's
I
fair.
was just curious because that just that's for me, so it's no big deal. But
No.
I like second eyes on everything.
So that's that. I wanted to just get this as clear as I could for everyone so that we all understand. And now, if you have a problem with any of this stuff, please don't do it here, but you can come see me individually. Jimmy and I can talk about it. This is something that Jimmy and I came up with and agreed to, and this is what we decided to run with. I'm gonna open this door back up because it got stuffy when I wasn't doing it. Highland Homes has brought some remember Ginger to Westfall. I think is it Westfall? Is that what I said? I forgot her name. Ginger Heights.
Yeah.
So Ginger brought us ginger sparkling water.
Oh, ginger beer. That's
No,
awesome. Yeah.
we have that back there actually. We're gonna start drinking here at the office more. Just so y'all know, I'm starting to drink in clubs.
Y'all should definitely drink the ginger beer because it's not alcoholic. Ginger beer is always not alcoholic.
Oh, well,
It's like ginger ale.
then I'm not drinking ginger beer. I'm drinking one of those brown bottles back there.
Don't drink the ginger beer if you're going to.
But ginger sparkling water, she's got some stuff out here. One thing I do want to show you guys, because I saw this while ago and my jaw hit the floor. We're just talking about where's the money? Where are people doing this? Highland Homes pays you $10,000 in addition to your standard commission.
Right now, that's just your current incentive?
That's
Right
current
now.
May 1st through May 31st.
All of it.
I have a question on
All
that.
community.
I gotta get
I can't answer it, but you can ask it.
I just got
On,
a contract.
Like our
last
Sixth
week.
Avenue,
Before-
the split is off the total
Oh,
commission.
oh.
So like whatever comes in, so say we get a $10,000 bonus.
the back house.
Across the, so like with referral, like all referral exchange gets theirs. Or is it just off the base
One on your third.
I don't know.
They might do it
I just,
for you,
because
yeah.
one of my referral exchange buyers is buying a new build,
Oh, cool.
and so there are
Ah,
potential
yeah,
incentives, so I just,
but-
not that it matters, but I just was
I think it's off the whole
wondering.
thing.
Okay.
And especially with referral exchange, it's off the whole thing.
What was she saying? Your question is.
If you get a bonus,
No, it doesn't. It goes up
Yeah.
on your
The
base
base
and then
commission.
the bonus is separate.
Yeah.
They just only calculated on your base.
Okay,
referral exchange does,
Uh-huh.
well, she would know.
okay, and then what about the Sixth Ave split, same thing, or does that?
Oh, and that's between, I mean,
Well, no,
prior to, it
yeah,
was always, the bonus was always just your
The
bonus.
agents,
So
okay.
the base was always,
what
there's
gets
where the
split,
splits, yes.
I think the bonuses, I have to talk to Jimmy.
okay,
I'll talk to Jimmy about that.
I mean, none of them are 10,000, but
But anyway, that's a good one. Today, if you guys go back through Slack from last week's meeting, today is the last day to protest your taxes, property taxes.
got moved, some people's got moved. to
Oh, yeah, I
24th.
heard that.
Did it? Okay.
Just
Well,
computer Slack.
our flyer with the coupon code, it expires today. So Gil Benson and company.
Yeah.
But that flyer expires today. So that's the one thing. We put this back. Okay. Let me make sure I hit everything that I wanted to hit today. Anybody want to yell at me for anything? Did I miss something? Awesome. This is a great day for me. Okay. I think that's everything. Okay. So my financial planner, accountant guy, his name is Michael Lewis. He is coming in June. to give us estate planning tips for realtors, things that you should be thinking about, things you may not know about. I highly recommend that you be here for that hour with Michael.
Which one is that, Margie?
I think it's June let me look. Don't let me lie to you. Hang on. It's on the calendar already. I think it's the breakfast. That's Petra Home Lending. It's going to be, that is the 19th. Wednesday, June the 19th will be Kevin Russell with Petra Home Lending is going to be here. He's got some really neat products that I haven't seen from other lenders. And then Michael Lewis will be here on the 19th for that. Kevin will be here for 10 minutes and then Michael will be here for like 50.
And they'll have breakfast.
Yeah. Kevin's bringing breakfast. So y'all come meet with me every Wednesday. Come meet with me. Okay. 10 o'clock. You can count on food being here most of the summer.
Just not donuts.
But it's not breakfast.
Some of us don't get
It's like our special treat.
special treat day.
So be here the 19th for that. I will be gone. I've scheduled my vacation on the week that we're not here. So July 4th, there are no activities at 6th Ave the entire week. So you don't have to come to Cal. You don't have to come anything for the July 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. And I'll be on vacation that week as well.
Where are you?
One Mexico.
Where at?
This time we're going to Azul Beach is what it's called.
He doesn't want to tell y'all. He's like, none of your business. Leave me
I saw
alone.
that
I bought my
sign on the
service.
it's the easternmost part of the country of Mexico, the place the sun hits it first. I saw that this time, and I've been to Isla 5 times, and this is the first time I went all the way down there, so it's really cool.
Because you saw my post?
No, because you and I had a
Oh,
conversation
okay.
about that.
Yeah. On Isla Mujeres if you go over to the very
Sir.
south end of the island on the east side, that is where the first tip of what
The
gets the
sun
sun
hits.
first in
That's the
Mexico.
country of Mexico for the first thing.
Huh?
You could tan.
Yes.
I mean, if you could tan.
Thank you. I was like, what is she
I understood her, but she didn't.
Oh, I understand her. Maria, I've been together for almost 10 years now. But no, I was like, and it's Yucatan. Yeah.
See?
But it's now see, I say Isla Mujeres. My kids say Isla Mujeres. You say,
It's not.
see, it's so much
Or is
prettier.
it mango or is it mango?
Mango.
Depends on where you learn how to speak, I guess.
Maria,
Okay.
I'm from Paris, Texas, originally, okay? It's mango.
Pecan or pecan?
Pecan. Pecan pie.
Oh,
Anyway.
pecan, not pecan.
Pecan. All right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna let y'all go. Ashley, Clarissa, Jennifer, Mariah, thank y'all for joining us online. Hopefully people will get to watch the recording and see this stuff about the leasing procedures. If you see somebody on Slack that says, hey, what about that, blah, 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 feel free to jump in and say, hey, go watch the YouTube video on our YouTube channel because it's there. Okay? Please help everybody else. Let's all help each other. We're all trying to get through this thing called life together. That ought to be a song. Who knows the song? We're all trying to get through this thing called life. Come on.
Hey, y'all don't forget about, I don't know the song. Y'all don't forget about the party we're having on June 15th.
Yeah, we talked about that before you got here. You're late. Anybody? Nobody knows?
What's the
It's
song?
Prince.
Oh, yeah.
How does it go? What's the rest? Sing it.
Sing it.
We're getting here to get through this thing called life.
That's good. Thank you for our help, right?
See?
Now been a long time, but I'm here to tell you.
Jamie got it. Jamie knew it. All right, guys. Hey, thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you for being a member of 6 Ave. We love you guys. And hopefully we're doing things that you like and enjoy. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Bye.